What's up? It's Adam Zdroik going over Wednesday's Premier League matches. We got Manchester United home against Brentford, West Ham home against Newcastle. This is going to be really quick, trying to get in and out here within 10 minutes. Going to do a little DFS talk, going to do some betting talk. DraftKings kind of halved the actual lobby here, so the contests are small. I didn't feel like there's a real reason that we needed to get a full show out there. So if you want more content, rotowire.com/soccer trial. You can not only get this cheat sheet and a bunch of our stats, you can also get access to our Discord, rotowire.com/chat. So in our Discord, just a recent thing here. So yesterday, some people Opta put out that Wilfred Ndidi was playing as an attacking midfielder, and some people went to Ndidi in DFS yesterday. Opta doesn't really care about formations. They'll plug stuff in, and I don't think people really complain to them about the formations, and they don't play DFS over there, so they don't really care about that kind of stuff. But if you want some formation help, that's also on our cheat sheet. But if you want to have any questions for us, DFS wise, betting wise, formation wise, we're usually around in the Discord. We definitely are during pretty much every Premier League match. So get in the Discord if you have questions about really anything. And for the slate, as we can see here, we got Manchester United, our home, West Ham, our home. Manchester United, the biggest favorite, almost a 2 implied goal total. Home against Brentford, that implied total is 3.1 for the entire match. The Newcastle West Ham match is 2.5. Newcastle are a slight away favorite. And in terms of formations here, there shouldn't be anything major. I guess the biggest thing we'll see is how West Ham line up. They've been going with their 4-3-3-ish, 4-2-3-1 for a good portion here. We know what Newcastle are going to put out. The question is if Isak or Callum Wilson starts, if Anthony Gordon starts there for Jacob Murphy, if Joe Willock is out. West Ham, I don't think they have any major injury issues. Manchester United, maybe the biggest question will be defensive midfield. Is McTominay and Sabitzer going to start together again? Will it be Fred back in there? And then is Wan-Bissaka gonna come on a short week for Diogo Dalot at right back? In terms of DFS here, so Brentford usually away from home or in difficult matchups, they'll go with a 5-3-2 or a 3-5-2, whatever you want to call it. So as you can see, that would likely mean Hickey and Henry on the wings, or possibly Mads Reerslav has played on the right wing as well. So something to keep an eye out for. Again, going to our Discord, we'll have the answers for that one. I guess there's a slight chance Brentford go 4-3-3, back to the 4-3-3 with Johan Wissa or Damsgaard or someone up there up top. But this is just a tough matchup. Thomas Frank came out before this match and said that this is probably the most difficult matchup that Brentford has had this season. First, because Manchester United are coming off a loss. So you have the bounce back factor for Manchester United. And then you have the revenge factor. Brentford beat Manchester United 4-0. That was earlier in the season, but clearly it's still in the minds of some people, including Thomas Frank, the Brentford manager. So I'm not sure if he's just trying to motivate his team and saying this is their most difficult matchup of the season. In terms of how I'm reading these matchups, I feel like under 2.5 goals, I think that's about minus 155 or something in this West Ham Newcastle match. I think that this West Ham Newcastle match is in the range of a 1-0 to either side, 1-1. I'd be surprised if a team got 2 goals in this one, based off these teams played a couple months ago, actually, at Newcastle, and West Ham put up a pretty decent fight. That one finished 1-1. Newcastle, you'd expect them to kind of control the match and really dominate, but they didn't really do that. So I think that is kind of interesting just in terms of the matchup, because for how these teams play, West Ham are one of the worst in the league in terms of possession. Newcastle, one of the best. So I found it interesting that when these teams played at Newcastle a couple months ago, that that kind of thing didn't really matter. West Ham had opportunities, Newcastle had opportunities as well, but Newcastle just didn't dominate that one. So you can take that for whatever you want to take it as. And this Manchester United Brentford match, Clearly, we got the 3.1 implied goal total. That one is more likely to pop off for 4 or 5 goals even. Brentford just had the 3-3 match against Brighton, where they got a bunch of goals off of set pieces, and Brighton just dominated the match. I'd be surprised if that happened again. The chances of that happening again would be if Brentford score first and then Manchester United are kind of pushing kind of a thing. I'd be surprised if that happens, but I think Brentford can put up a fight in this spot. Just depends how much you're putting into Manchester United at home, Manchester United bounce back situation in terms of DFS here. So your decisions are going to come down to it's going to be, what is it going to be? 70% plus, maybe close to 80%. Trippier should be 100%. We'll see about Rashford and Bruno Fernandes. Those 3 guys are basically going to be in everyone's lineup. You just got to be a little different if you want to win some tournaments. So how are you going to be different? Obviously, if you fade Rashford or if you fade Bruno, you can be different in those aspects. And if you do that, you'll probably want if you fade Bruno Fernandes, you probably want Luke Shaw on your team. Maybe try and get random goals. Antony was one of their better players last match, but he's always a sub risk. Wout Weghorst will be popular because of price. You could go with a defensive midfielder as well. At that point, then you're just trying to find where you can actually spend money. Do you think Brentford are going to score? And at that point, you can look at Mbeumo, you can look at Tony, Jensen for the set pieces. But again, I'm not sure how much you're going to need at least a goal or assist from your Brentford guys, from your West Ham guys, because those teams are going to have less possession. And because this is 4 teams on here, you do need a third team. So Newcastle will be very popular. Manchester United will be very popular. So you're going to have to figure out if you want someone from Brentford, you want someone from West Ham. There are reasons for looking at both teams, really. You have a lot of you got the Benrahma, you got the Jared Bowen, just players that are forward eligible that take you away from having to go down to Wout Weghorst kind of a thing. So you have that to decide. Declan Rice is 4,300. He's been taking some set pieces here and there. I do like the Newcastle midfielders. Maybe not as much Joelinton. We'll see where he lines up, but his numbers just haven't been as good as a midfielder, central midfielder, not in the front 3. So something to keep an eye on there. And if Anthony Gordon starts or Callum Wilson starts, like those guys aren't going to be going 90. Just something to keep in mind. If you want a cheaper midfielder, Sean Longstaff is 4,700. Pretty decent price. And then I mentioned the wing backs for Brentford. So we got Rico Henry at 4,400. Hickey is a spend down option. You could probably go Hickey at 3,600, assuming he's a wing back. And that would be like your fade off of Luke Shaw, or even, I guess, if you want to go utility, you're kind of stuck there with utility. But yeah, you got your most popular players, and you just kind of decide what you want to do. Do you want to be like everyone else and play Weghorst? It's kind of hard. It's almost hard not to, just because of the options at forward. I think you can do it, but again, it's not like when you're spending up on forward and not on Weghorst, you're still not getting guaranteed output. Like for a guy like Joelinton or Gordon, even, you're still not getting guaranteed numbers. Like how much is Mbeumo going to do? Tony, how much is Bowen going to do in this spot? That's a definite worry. You can look at some of the floors from the West Ham guys. The last time they played Newcastle, 5-6 points. So I'm just not sure paying up for the 7K, 8K forwards is worth it when you can get close to 90 with Weghorst. And I know he's going to be popular, but his numbers are very difficult. But again, that's just something you'll have to decide. So that's kind of all I'm going to say for DFS wise. Again, just hit up our Discord. In terms of betting, throw a couple bets out here because I do think this West Ham Newcastle match, well, I think both teams could score. I'd be surprised if it's over 2 goals, but I'm going with the corner route. My corner bets here, I got West Ham Newcastle under 4.5 corners in the first half. That'll be -105. Even though West Ham give up possession, they don't allow that many corners, and we'll see how this match starts off. I don't think that Newcastle are just going to be full on attack, going for it from the start. So I don't think there's going to be a ton of corners in that first 45. Other side of that, the hope here is that as long as Brentford doesn't score first, I think that they're going to actually be competitive in this spot, and they're not going to be completely dominated like they were against Brighton. Thomas Frank has played Manchester United well throughout, I guess, the last couple of years here, last 3 matches. They've played Manchester United tight enough. This match is just going to come down to, I think Brentford and Manchester United may take the same amount of shots, may get the same amount of corners. It's just going to be come down to who's going to finish their chances. Will it be Bruno Fernandes, Rashford, Antony, Weghorst? Will those guys finish their chances? Or will Tony, Buemo, will they be able to finish their chances in a tough spot like that? So I think that's what those matches will come down to. But because I think that we're getting all this value here with Brentford raised to 5 corners plus 310. Manchester United, not a team that gets that many corners. So I'm just going to kind of ride with the good odds here at plus 310. Maybe Manchester United score in the first half, and then we got Brentford pushing a little bit in the second half. So that's why I got Brentford raised to 5 corners, plus 310. There we go. We're at just over 11 minutes. So thanks for watching this. Remember, hit up the Discord for any DFS questions. We'll be around. We got a bunch of people in there. RotoWire.com/chat. And then that's once you are subscribed. Otherwise, we got Kits and Wagers betting show. That'll be coming Friday morning, and then a DFS show the usual time Friday. And then we'll have you set for the Premier League weekend. Enjoy these games. Good luck on your bets. Good luck on DFS. I think there's a 150 King of the Pitch contest today. Good luck to everyone that's playing in that. As long as you're listening to the show, no good luck to everyone else. We had a subscriber almost get the King of the Pitch ticket yesterday. Unfortunately, I think it was Redcoat that came out on top there. But let's get this one today, and we can go on the weekend with some extra money to play, and then lose over the weekend. But you can find me at RotoZdroik. Check out RotoWire Soccer at RotoWire Soccer, also on Twitter. Thanks for watching this, and we'll see you later in the week.